All right, welcome everyone to the final session of our hackathon, the D Day or the demo day. We kicked this off on Thursday when we did a team formation idea brainstorming session. We kicked the hackathon officially on Friday. We had some Q&A sessions with our awesome judges yesterday, and today, finally, after a grueling 36-40 hour submission window, we have 20 submissions, out of which we have 11 finalists today who will be sharing their hacks to our judges. I'll quickly walk through the structure. We'll just directly get into the demos. The demos are going to be in the alphabetical order of the team member names as per the list shared over Telegram. We'll have 3 minutes per team to demo their solutions, and followed by 1-2 minutes of Q&A by our judges. And we'll do this for all the teams, and then we'll sort of tally up the numbers and announce the winners, and we'll also do a quick reflection in the meanwhile. That's about it. Um, how is the energy level of all the finalists? Tell me in the chat. Use one word to describe what you're feeling right now. Is it excited, nervous, something else? Uh, let's see those one word emotions in the chat in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, we see excited, we see fire emoji, feel like Superman. Okay, nice. Marathon, excited. All right, with that, we'll go into the demos. First team up, we have a solo person, Alish. Over to you. You can start screen sharing and your demo now.
I think you have to, it's disabled.
Try now.
Yep.
Awesome. All the best.
Thank you. Yeah. So I try to solve the API developers mostly the way usually we create. So it's all most of the time there is a similar kind of template used by all the API creations. Pretty much after a DB design, a table finalized, and we start creating a few crude operations and the gate operations and kind of that. And this usually developer ask for 1 or 2 days. And the problem was to currently for every front end or every features, usually we look for the backend APIs wherever required, and then the requirement goes and discussions and everything. And so after working a lot, like 2, 3, more than 4 years in backends, I figured out that it's pretty much simple templates using. Once after finalize, everything is repetitive. So what I try to create is you just give certain configuration files where you define some module names, tables, and field names and everything. And I created one script which process that and creates for now I just created model and routes, so it's like end-to-end API endpoint is created within 1 minute. But after certain times you can configure test cases, you can configure or control logics or like whatever there is pretty much can be done in this perspective. Uh, it's just purely based on Node.js. There is nothing other. It's one file script I wrote, nothing else. Uh, yeah. Should I walk through video or it's just 1 minute? Right. Okay. So participating as creating developer tools. And the developer tools I creating this low code API creation.
Hey, is it audible to other people? Hey, Alish, it's not audible. Can you share the screen again and check on the share sound button?
Mhm. 1 minute.
Yeah, or you can just speak while the video is being played. That also works.
Okay. So
Can you do it full screen?
yeah, it's okay. 1 second. Yes, I have the link. Right, look at Moonshot, Demo. Is it visible now?
Yes.
So yeah, there is one file we have to give. One is it's a JSON file. You have to just define what your module name is, what your table name going to be, and list of fields, and what kind of field type will be. Currently, it's given this two constant only. So on the basis of data type, there will be one validation we added is the string or number is there, and there is a script. At the table level, create a date update, get all date, and express this. But there is I created this complete script. So in the complete script, you it's process all the configuration files and takes the table name, module names, and do required whatever the template formations. And you run just a simple command. There will be one route file, all the routes required for the particular API. So it will create a, currently I configure 5 routes. One is add, get, post, delete, and the getting all datas. And there is a model is automatically created. So you just copy this two files in your API endpoints, and you just through Postman, you can just send the request and response getting start. So it's like in 1 minute you can create your API endpoints. Mm. So what I'm thinking in the future is around making more easy configuration. Uh, I'm planning to create as an npm package, and we'll be creating for more Node.js framework. Like currently, I just configure Express.js. We'll be thinking to keep it on more frameworks and whatever the coming up. That's it from mine.
Yeah, I have a question, Alish.
Yeah.
I think this looks good as long as your API spans across only one table. But like, how will you work if your API spans across like multiple tables and it has to compute multiple fields across multiple tables?
So currently, I just keep it as a JSON, but after certain times, I have to create a kind of structure for the configuration JSONs where I can define that there is certain keywords or something I have to specify, and it define a relation. So by this API creation, I think it's like 50 to maybe 60-70% of your API creation can be time reduced. You can spend 30% time of, I can take it as a, you have to do certain logics implementation. So like most of your times like writing queries and writing logics and test cases and everything, almost 60 to 70% can be done by this way, and you can spend enough time spare time on the writing more logic and make it your API endpoint stronger.
Got it. Basically, like some simple stuff can be automated this way, and
Yeah.
more complex logic can be like written just like it is done right now, more or less.
It can be written this way, but you just like create your skeleton kind of stuff, and you just then you edit and implement more logic whichever it's required at any point. So after like requirement defined, we do some certain checkpoints, and we like PID documentation. So most of the stuffs are similar, like 60 to 70%, and then you implement like cross API conversations, or like you have to do certain data versioning or triggering, and everything can be done
Got it.
here.
Thanks.
Hey, thanks for the demo, Elise. It looks like it really saved some time. Just a question for you. Does it create all like the CRUD operations, like all the different HTTP verbs for the objects that you're creating, like get, post, put, patch, all these sorts of things?
Currently, I configure add, update, delete, get by ID and get all. But usually these are the pretty much operations are required for particular endpoints. But when we go further, every company has a different way to create an every API endpoints. We can configure the templates for the all API endpoints, and we can work it more.
Cool. Would it be possible just to real quick, like show maybe like a curl request of like a, I don't know, like a get or something?
Sorry.
Would it be like possible to show like a working request? Like, so if I'm the front end developer and I want to just test it out maybe with Postman or something, or curl, you have anything running? If you don't, that's no problem. I just thought you might have something running.
I'm not getting clearly, but do you mean that is it by front-end engineers can be use this and create API endpoints?
Yeah, so what I was meaning is like once it's written the template API, and then you run it somewhere and it's running, the server is running on the port. I was just wondering, it would just be interesting to see the response out of the box.
So after the template creation, once just giving like 5-10 minutes, front-end engineers also nowadays understand how the table creation and what is the format is there. You just explain them, this is what you have to give the module name, and this is table configuration, you give it up. They can, front-end engineers can use it up, and they create their API endpoints by themselves. Whenever there is a huge or different complex logic is required, the people, I want that there is a no repetitive process our engineers are spending time on. They spend on the hard logics, and where there is logic relies, people spend more time on that and make it more complex and powerful.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Hey, Alish, good stuff here. I was curious about the same thing as Ben. So I was like wanted to ask again, like if you could like run the same script on your local machine and maybe send a GET request in the browser to it so that we can see the response. I'm curious about like how the response shows up.
Okay. Got it. Okay. 1 minute, I'll share my screen. Yeah, so currently this script is already set up. I just set up one sign up tables, and okay, 1 second. I don't know, there is some issue I'm facing up.
It's okay, no worries. Like,
there is some module configuration, I'm not sure.
It's fine. Like, but could you like explain like if I send a suppose a GET request to your sign up model, I guess. So how does it actually populate the data? Does it create dummy data for the fields that you mentioned in your schema, or how does it work?
Currently it doesn't, but so this JSON configuration file I can enhance. I can put the dummy data and everything. I have to create certain structure here. So currently I just configure 3 things. One is table details, table name, and module name. I can just walk you through high level code flow. What I created is that I just configure the table name and everything. It define functions, and it create a one template I structure I created. So it just put it up fields and values there, and it create a DB files, model files and everything. And 1 second, I may be able to create. I don't know why it's giving me issue.
So it creates the actual SQLite database.
Currently, it doesn't create a SQL database, but after this thing, there will be 2 files created. One is route and one is model files. And you can just put it up in your, when the configuration is done, you can directly access through Postman. So you just send the request, your data, your API endpoint will start working.
Okay, cool. I think I got my answer. Thanks.
Yeah, just 1 second. I think, yeah, it's created. Files are created. So this is usually Express.js route file. So these are all the routes are created. And this is what the model is created completely just freshly by this command. And 1 second. Yeah. This will be my route. Yeah. So currently I just created, and 1 second. Yeah. This is my route. Yeah. And its API endpoint is working. So currently I just configure SQLite. So there is one file is created, and I configured two rows are already inserted in this one. And if I do post, okay, it's failing. Some issue with configuration or something. Okay. I'm not, I think it's messing up with me right now.
Cool. Alish, in the interest of time, we'll stop here.
Sure.
Other folks who are presenting, make sure you show the working prototype first instead of the code. Show, then tell. Don't say that I have done this. Like, show it in action. All right, we'll move to the next finalist. We have a team of Anish and Varun who is going to present. I can share a screen and let's go.
Hey, am I audible?
Yes, you are. Go for it.
Okay, so my name is Anish, and I'm not good with presentations, so my teammate Varun will present right now. Varun,
Yeah, is the screen visible?
yeah, it's visible, yeah.
Yeah. So basically, our project is Form Filler. It's a browser extension which fills up all the input fields of any web page form. So the problem statement that we encountered was while working with form, even the slightest change in the code base requires us to fill the form again to test it if our logic is working correctly or not. So it takes a very minute amount of time, but it is so frequent that it becomes cumbersome to handle. So the target audience for this particular extension would be front-end engineers that would be dealing with forms in their day-to-day tasks. So what our extension does is just look for the input fields on any given web page and fill the input according to the type of input field. This extension works as accurately as much the developer developing the web page has followed the accessibility practices, like putting the right type of the input field. So this would be a one-click solution because autofill works super fine, but for each and every input field, it takes 2 clicks. So the tech stack is simple: HTML, CSS, JavaScript, nothing too fancy here. And instead of the demo video, I'll just show you the demo. This is a pretty large form that would require me a bit of time to fill. So what I'll do is just go to the extension, generate the data, and then I can test my logic if the form is working correctly or not. So, and one thing is that on third-party sites, it also works just fine as long as the correct input fields are mentioned. The future prospect of this particular extension could be generating relevant data like a random name or random email, random address field, so that it is more genuine and something that the developer would expect a normal user to enter. And for forms like that requires credential and all, the credentials cannot be random. They should be very specific that are stored in the database that would authenticate the user to go to the further page. So yes, autofill and save password in the browser works, but this could be the one-stop solution for that. And I hope we iterate over this, and this would be actually useful for me personally, as I am a front-end engineer as well. And me and Nish, we were working on this project of ours, so we thought this is the problem that we should pick, as suggested by a panel that if you have faced the problem, definitely someone else will be facing that problem. So that's it from our side.
Hey, that was a great demo. I can personally say that even within our product at Workday, I would find this pretty useful because there's one particular form in our product when we created our document that I'm always filling out these drop downs and checkboxes, and it's a real pain in the ass to do it a million times. So a question I had for you, does it choose like for like a select box or a checkbox, does it just pick a random value like true or false or one of the options?
Currently, it chooses a hard-coded values. Like this phone number is particularly hard-coded.
Yeah.
And in select, let's say, let me just refresh it and refresh the page. Let's say instead of dog, a parrot was selected, and
But I don't think you're Varun, I don't think you're sharing the screen anymore.
oh, okay. Sorry. Is it visible?
Yeah, it's visible now.
Yeah. So let's say a spider was selected. Okay. When I generate the data, it selects the dog. What we are doing is selecting the first index of the options that are available to that particular select input.
Yeah, very good.
There are multiple other types of input fields that are not exactly input, like the select area, the text area. So these are the edge cases that we faced, and but currently we have tackled these two. It just enters the lorem ipsum, the text area. So as soon as we encounter that, we will be adding those as well. Like there is also a type of image tag. So like it felt really weird, like we cannot go to the person's system and select random photo of theirs and upload to a form. So these are the edge cases that we have to look for.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great demo, Varun. I particularly like the utility of this. I think this can go in several ways. One of them could be to also test the negative test cases. Like for example, if there's a particular validation on an input field, like a field can only be integer, then the developer may want to test for the other field types as well. So it can be a quick way to test using this product. Not a feedback,
Yes.
just a
Yeah,
comment.
absolutely. In fact, I attended a security workshop. The SSR attacks can also be tested over here. Like no malicious script is entered to the input field of your development side. So surely these are very great ideas. We'll try to hack it out and implement those.
Hey, Anish and Varun,
Hi.
great product there. I think I saw in your demo video that you mentioned the way it works is not through IDs and the labels and the keywords, but you actually check for the input type. And you also mentioned that it works better if the website is done in an accessible way. Every element is semantic and all those things are followed. But you might like have seen that the websites generally don't follow like accessibility guidelines. You don't have correct input types on the inputs and so on. Like you would mostly find a broken, like accessibility wise broken website. So do you
Yes.
think like you should also focus on the other aspect where you also check for labels, keywords, so that at least your product works on most of the websites?
Yeah, it's a great point. If a target audience would have been like the end user entering like filling their forms, that would have been different. The browsers already addressed that. This particular tool was to save time and help the developers, and developers should be tech savvy enough. Not that it should not work on super accurate websites, but the developer developing the site would see like why this tool is not working. Most of the learning happens when like they don't get the desired output. So I think it would help them. Also, it does work that way. The accuracy of the tool depends on what type of data is being entered. Like if this wasn't the phone input was of type number, it would have entered 1 2 3 4 5 just like order number. The 956, this random number is entered because it is of type tel. That was the main concern of ours.
Okay. And just like curious, you said it was a problem you faced. So did you happen to look for other solutions out there which did solve this problem? Just curious about that.
Usually we used to just like use autofill of the browser. Like our browsers are so advanced, and you would have noticed like whenever you encounter a form, most of the fields are filled like name and email address. So uh, for the development sake, like most of the forms keep the auto complete option as off, so that the user sees like the best placeholder and the design and all that. We usually keep it on so the browser gives us the option, and it's just click and we test our logic. We did look for a couple of extension. They were just searching by IDs.
IDs and class names, so they won't work here.
Yeah, IDs and class names. So again, it would be like not every site would have given the same type of ID or class name. Some might be using some UI library, so some random gibberish in the class name would be encountered.
Okay, makes sense. Thank you. Good work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys.
All right, let's see the next person. Arka, go for it.
Yes, sir. Wait a second. So I made a project like my worker bot. It's actually a Slack bot which alerts the members in a Slack group about the issues opened, edited, deleted, closed, milestone, about everything. And the problem is that viewing issues and managing them in a GitHub repo and then alerting the users in the Slack group about them is very tiresome. So I made the all of the thing that people can do it without leaving the Slack app. Next thing is the solutions that came up with actually connecting the GitHub webhook and the Slack webhook and connecting them all together with a router. And it only is applicable for issues, for pull requests, and then the GitHub Actions CI/CD pipeline. I will make them soon. Tech stack use actually the BlockKit framework by Slack, the GitHub and the Slack webhooks, and Node.js. Wait just a second. I'm actually showing how it is used. A second. Now, if I write one issue here in the automatic Octo fortnight, just like this, and leave a comment down here, like this is a comment, and then submit the issue here,
here in the Slack group, automatically their event is there. I mean, when this issue is triggered, automatically an alert has came in the Slack app about this issue. Now, if I close this issue like this, again, an issue when the event was triggered, then alert has came. If I reopen again, so and then again, thank you. This is and yes, the next thing is only it is applicable to issues opening, closing, reopening, editing, deleting, milestoning them. Only this is. I am planning to extend the features up to pull requests, GitHub CI/CD actions, comments, the next to-do actions, everything. Also, the developers have to self-host the bot to actually use it, just like a monolith framework. I will publish this as an integratable service in the Slack bots section soon. Thank you. That's it.
Thank you, Arka, for the demo. I think it looks interesting from the point of view if it can solve some real problem. So I understand the technology being used, but if you can also solve a real problem, like maybe communicating that these are the number of pull requests pending and these are the number of give some insights as an alert to the team that this pull request is open from less 10 days and it has not been even not been a single comment on it, something like that, then it can become really powerful to the companies.
So we'll do it. It's actually filter.
Can you issue any commands to the bot? So like, for example, maybe you type directly to the bot and you say, I don't know, show me how old this issue is, or list the issues. So it's more like rather than just being alerted, you can interact with the issue. I know some of the Slack bots, you can issue commands to them directly and they will respond in some way.
Yes, I actually did it, but it was throwing an error just due to the lack of time. Couldn't debug it, but I will do it for a lookup thing. I mean, write an issue, then write the number of issue. I mean, the hashtag number, and then it gives the detail of that issue, right?
That would be an awesome addition.
I wanted to do it, but it was throwing an error, so I just cut that out. Gotcha, I will fix it soon.
Right on. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, Anka. Yeah, interesting thing there. I'm curious to know, how does it differentiate compared to getting same issue notifications on email? I'm asking in terms of, let's say, a developer. Let's say you are working right now, you are into a zone where you're working, and there are two things. Either you can get a new issue open notification on your Slack, or you can get it on email. Which one would you prefer? Have you thought about how do they compare?
If a developer opens an issue, isn't it built in GitHub that they get an email?
Yeah, it's there. That's why I'm asking. The email is already there. You're building a Slack bot. How would it benefit compared to the already existing email solution?
Yeah, email is personal email. Only the developer gets it. In a Slack group, all the people get it who are concerned with the thing. Or new contributors too.
I think all people who are watching a particular repo can also choose to get issue emails. I think that's there.
Yes, if they start it, I think probably.
Not star, but if you watch it, definitely then you get all the emails about everything happening.
Oh, well.
So is that the only thing that you are trying to solve, that all the people get it, or is it some ways better than getting an email notification?
It is actually better because the GitHub Webhook API actually doesn't only provide the GET requests, it actually does the post requests as well. So through this bot, I am trying to extend the feature to GitHub CI/CD action. So you just write an command, then add the custom scripts, press the send, and then the tests will actually run. Actually, more than just being GitHub.
Okay, making it interactive. That's what you mean.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Right. Let's move to the next demo. Athar, go for it.
Yeah. Good evening, and everyone, and good morning, Mr. Ben. So let me just introduce my project. So the name of my project is AutoCode, and it's a VS Code extension that provides user with ready-to-use code snippets, thereby effectively reducing development time. So as we all know, developers spend a lot of time writing new code, and this code is vulnerable and susceptible to a range of syntax errors. And the existing solutions provided an underwhelming user experience in the sense that they expect users to remember these complex acronyms, which in all honesty, we coders can do without. So who is it for? So as Mr. Sachin mentioned the other day during the kickoff of this hackathon, that you need to build the product for yourself. You need to solve a problem for yourself. So I built this product for myself. So this begs the question, who am I? So I'm a web developer who loves to create web applications using React, TypeScript, and JavaScript, but doesn't enjoy the writing repeated code over and over again. And I'm sure most of you share the sentiment, or at least I hope. So the solution that I built is my extension enables users to type out code snippets in a conversational way, which I'll demonstrate later in the demo. So but just to give you a gist, if a user has to create an arrow function, all they have to write is create arrow function. They don't have to write CRF or remember any type of acronyms. It also enables developers to code with type safety. So if a developer writes create array with create array of type of numbers, it's gonna create that particular type of array. And lastly, users can also leverage some advanced functions, which I'm gonna demonstrate next. So the tech stack that I used is UML, JavaScript, TypeScript, and Node.js. So I'll just demonstrate my project. So let's say a user wants to create an array. All they have to do is create and the array is created. Next, let's say the user wants to destructure this array. So this is what's interesting. They can copy this array, and all they have to do is type ds array, which is short for destructure array, and it's going to automatically add the name of the array here, and it's gonna, you just have to type out what you want to name the array. Now let's take a look at more complex and more useful example. So what I'm doing is I'm copying this URL to my clipboard, and I'm going to say call API, and as you can see, it generates this code and it auto fetches the URL. Right now, let's say you want to destructure this array, or you can just type ds array, and it's gonna let you destructure the array. Now let's say you want to map over this array, so and create a JSX component. So what you can do is you can say create map. First you need to copy this array. Now that it's copied, you need to type create map component, and it's going to automatically type the take in the type of array and create this component for you. There are a few other interesting features, but in the interest of time, I'll just move on. I'd just like to show you this last feature, wherein array can type create array of type numbers, and it's going to create this type of array for the user. So what next? So the short-term goal is to make my extension fully compatible with the React TypeScript ecosystem, and also make it more dynamic in the sense that if the user types in create a function with 5 parameters, I'd want to do that. And also the long-term goal is to create, I mean enable voice commands for the extension, wherein the user just says create arrow function and a code snippet is generated. I want to enable developers converse with VS Code. That's my demo. Thank you.
Thank you for that, John. I love this. This would save me personally a lot of time. Perhaps not so much for people that are always working in one language, because you do it the same thing every day. But for full stack developers, so you're flopping between Kotlin, TypeScript, JavaScript, Python, you know all the concepts, right? But it's like, is that slightly different between these two languages? And then you end up hunting through the code base, copy pasting
Yeah,
example. So this is
right.
this
So
is really great.
sorry. So when you're creating this extension, it asks you where you want this in which language rather you want this snippets to be available. So if I just say I want these snippets to just be available in TypeScript, it will just show up in TypeScript and not other languages. So let's say if the extension is .py for Python, some of these snippets might not be available for that language.
One question I had for you is how easy is it to configure it by the user? And where that might be useful is I'm thinking particular teams probably have a very common pattern of working. Maybe they have a particular way that maybe, for example, calling the API, they always add certain auth headers, for example. If it could be configured on a team basis or a repo basis, that would be really good, because that would improve the developer experience for that particular team for the specific things that they do.
Right.
So yeah, is it user configurable, or could it be made configurable that way?
Not as of now, but yeah, I guess I can make it configurable.
Yeah, cool, very nice, thank you.
Yeah, this is really cool, Atha. I really like how you use the clipboard contents for the snippets. Like I personally haven't used any extension which plays with my clipboard content, so that's really cool. But like one concern that I see here is it looks really cool when you showed it, because you know how everything works. I feel a slight concern in the education part of this extension. Like how do you see educating the developer, like the person who installed this extension? How do they come to know that how particular snippet works?
Yeah, right. So I have around 60 code snippets in this extension, and out of the 60, 50 are initiated using create. So as soon as they type create, it is going to show a list of things that users can just select and use the code snippet. The other 10, I can upload it on the README, as saying that these are some special code snippets that you can use. So once the developer familiarizes with the extension, I think it will be way more convenient.
So is it that like every snippet of yours requires something to be in the clipboard, like copied beforehand, or
No,
is it
no,
like
no.
just some, okay, few?
Just a few special functions.
Okay, cool, nice one.
All right, Shivani.
I just wanted to add one end note. The extension is hosted on VS Code, so it's available for anyone to use. Thank you.
I'm gonna try it out, definitely.
Awesome, Shivani, let's go.
Yeah. Hi everyone. Yeah, this is an app. Is my screen visible?
Not yet. Yes, it is.
Yep. This is an app checking the responsiveness of your website based on simply pasting of URL based on screen sizes, like desktop to mobile or mobile to desktop. As per front-end developer, the website usage is a user choice. Like user can use any device or browser as per his comfort or her comfort. So here I built an app where you can check the response of your app by simply pasting of URL. The problem is making a website without checking responsiveness isn't good thing for a front-end developer. So we have to engage with the users to with the mobile and desktop. We cannot change the impression of the user in different devices. So here in the app, I use text tags like React.js and Bootstrap HTML canvas. Here you can see the live link of the video, and I'm still working on the projects like adding font community list. Like font style plays a key role in the website, like when we're reading the story or when we're reading about blog, it should be very different scenario, like user should be compatible with it. And I'm just want to implement capture of the screenshot while adding pull request to GitHub. We need to show them as we have built it in the mobile and desktop view. And I'm also give the user to some kind of colors like light mode, dark mode colors. While I'm building project, I face the problem which colors I have to choose. So I just want to keep it in the local host. You can change it, and I want to make the landing page with the stack of the devices. You can see the different users use different devices so that you can check it is responsive or not. And I want to implement drag and drop functionality, and the live demo. Yeah, here you can see the responsiveness of the app and single screen. Like in the mobile, you can drag and drop it, how it will be visible. And here you can give some custom sizes of mobile. Yep. Yeah, here you can reset it and you can set to default things, and you can rotate the device, and you can give the height of the width in pixels. That's all about it. Thanks for giving this opportunity.
Yeah. Hi Shivani.
Hi,
Is it
sir.
possible for you to show the demo on a like some real site?
Yep. Can you repeat again?
Yeah. So on your app, can you enter the
Yeah.
URL of the real site? I mean, when you
Yeah,
open
yeah, I will do. Yep. Sorry. Yeah. Yep, it was loading. Yeah, here you can see the other website URLs of it.
and I believe like these are iframes, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. I think this might work for most of the sites, but like due to security constraints, a lot of sites contain like iframe busters, other client-side iframe busters or headers. So
Yes.
you might have to solve this in future, not right now, but I think this can be a cool product when you also add like periodic screenshots or the videos.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Haridarshan, go for it.
So I hope my whole screen is visible and I'm audible.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is my project, which is review. So which is built just to make UI reviews efficient again. So what is it? So it's basically extension, or basically a extension which is going to help you to place markers and also add comments on particular elements on a website. And you can just share that link, and that particular thing will be visible to the other people whom you have shared it with. I'll cover that in the live demo. So yeah, this is also I'll cover that in the live demo. So the tech stack uses React. Yeah, it's a surprise. I'll let you know why it's a surprise. And Express.js for the backend, Prisma for the database modeling. So I'll just quickly rush on to the actual live demo itself. So for example, let's say, okay, okay. So yeah, so let's say this is a site, and if I want to let's kind of add markers on this particular site, I'll just say add a query, which is URL equals to new, and if I enter it, you'll see that yeah, once this is completely reloaded again, after a while, I'll actually see that I have some options to place markers. So yeah, it's loading here, and it would say add marker and stuff and view markers. So I don't know if this is completely visible or not. Because maybe if I can, is it visible? I mean, I don't know.
Yes, it is.
Okay, I thought that it's hidden by this. Okay, anyways, so now if I say view markers, so there are currently no markers, so I can basically select any text. So let's say I selected text and say add marker. So it would basically say, okay, add a comment to this marker. So this started well, so anything for now. And it can be like kudos, bug improvement or anything. I'll just say it's as kudos here. And if I add it, now this is important. So for example, if anybody basically shares this particular URL, so if I click on it, it is going to redirect me to a particular URL, and you'll see that the URL ID and room ID and everything is appended onto this URL. So if anybody visits this, he's going to have this marker. So it says, okay, this started well, and it's a kudo. And in view marker section, I'm going to have this. Okay, I'll just quickly show a few more things. So I've already created a room here, as you can see. So if I say view markers here, this has like 3 markers here. And if I click on any one of this marker, let's say this, so it's automatically going to scroll me to that particular marker. Yeah, it is here. So it's an image and improvement. So also, you might ask that, okay, the images are not selectable and stuff. So how can I work with them? So if I basically put control and click, so if I control click on this particular, sorry, it's okay, anything, you can also do this on this particular URL or this particular URL, it doesn't matter. So let's do it here. I mean, so if I control click, so I've control click, it's going to select it on its own. And let's say this image is too good. Yeah, something like that. Let's call it improvement. Yeah, I don't know why this makes sense, but still. So I'll click on add. So now if this URL is being shared, or basically when the user revisits this URL, you'll actually see that in the view markers thing, it has like 2 things. So if I click on the image is too good, it will scroll me to that particular position. And it's basically, yeah, here. So the image is like too good, and it is marked as improvement. So this is so if it's improvement, it would be green color. If it's kudo, it would be orange color. Simple UI stuff there. So this was pretty much it, everything. Now why React was a surprise, because everything, the view markers and this markers and the add marker, this is rendered with React. Yeah, so I have hacked my way around it. So it's everything here is rendered with React. And now let's go back to the presentation where we have the what's next thing. So we can basically add a reply to comment feature. So kind of making it a complete UI review system, and add a resolve issue feature. So for example, if that issue is resolved, or maybe it is acknowledged, we can just delete it or something like that. And we can also add some real-time stuff. So kind of, I just want it to be like Figma when we are working with designs, but now you are working with the actual UI of the website. So that's pretty much it. I'm open to questions.
Yeah. Thanks, Haridarshan. I think it was like pretty cool. I definitely see a need of it, especially when reviewing the landing pages or the blog posts. But it's particularly important or interesting if you can see this on the apps as well. Like when we give some feedback to our like front-end developers, that this should be improved or that should be improved, right? I mean, it's slightly better than Loom. But yeah, one question which I have is like when you show the demo, you actually selected the first line, but the marker was placed a little bit below that. And if I review that comment, it will be hard for me to identify like what do I need to change or what was actually well as per the comment.
So basically how the marker works is it's going to append that particular marker onto the parent of that thing which you have selected. So if you simply inspect, you will get to know, but okay, let's not go there. So basically just messing with the position itself, like putting position relative and making it a bit above or low. So below made sense to me. I don't know why, but we can replace the position of the marker to anything that we want. I was also thinking about making it a bit draggable in a sense, but yes, that was becoming too complex that moment.
Maybe simple suggestion, like if user selected some text, then you can put that text in the marker itself.
No, but it's actually I can't make changes onto that particular website, right? I have to save that particular X or Y position. So I'm not saving X or Y position, because if I save X or Y position, it is not going to work on mobile screens or different screens, different viewports. So what I did is I actually created a function, a very weird function, which is basically going to draw the complete path of that HTML element, and I'm then going to attach it to the HTML element, so that every time I know that it belongs to that HTML element.
I get that. Basically, just a suggestion that you can show the text in the marker. Like for example, if I highlight
text, then
it will be more convenient and more understandable for the end
Yeah.
user. That's it.
Yeah, got
Thank
it,
you.
got it, got it. Yeah, got it.
I can see this would be really handy, not just for developers too, for many of our product managers. They are often the ones with more feedback. The only difficulty with those folks is that they're often not quite as technical. So having a really easy for them way for them to add comments, or start a new review session, like a button or maybe a right click or something. That would be great, because I actually do see this more on the QA and product manager side, rather than the developers. But yeah, very, very cool. I could see this would save a lot of time.
Yeah. So it's just if you had noticed, it's basically if you do control click, it's going to add that marker for you. So that's a
Yeah.
shortcut as well. Yeah.
Cool. So with that, we are done with more than half of the demos. Harshna, let's go.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you see my canvas screen?
Yes.
Okay. This is a GitHub Issues Manager, CLI app to manage GitHub issues. And the problem is that GitHub notifications are chaos and we don't get them properly whenever an issue is created. And going through several repositories to see each issue is very time consuming. And so what I did was I built a CLI app, and since the CLI is obviously faster and we code faster, and you can just use the command to get all your issues and PRs. I have built this using Oakleaf, GitHub API, and OctoKit as the main tools. I'll just go through the demo really quick. So just a second. Share this. And so this is the command, and it will take a minute. And as you can see that I got all my issues in one place, but this is based on the access token. If you don't allow private access, you will not get the private issues. Similarly, you have create a new issue. So I did not add a flag here for my issue, so I did not get it there. This is my owner ID. I'm gonna pass it. And yeah, and yes, something. Just a second. Oh, I broke something. I was actually testing something out and I broke something, but this actually works. You can see it in my video, Loom video.
It's okay, Harshna. I think we get the point that
Okay.
it's a CLI to I think manage issues in GitHub.
Yes, and you can actually add all the issues to your calendar for 3 days, and it will give you the reminder also for that.
Yeah, this is where I was coming to actually. I mean, this is the first step of building a product, but getting real value out of it is like solving a problem. I think actual value be as a developer gets when I can get some insights out of the product. Like for example, there are 3 pull requests pending on me, right? So I can quickly type a command just show me the pull request pending on me, maybe
So-
priority wise, etc. Right? That would be really cool.
So these pull requests are the pending ones. So I have multiple projects on my GitHub repository, and I created multiple PRs. You don't see the closed PRs over here. You only see the pending ones.
Yeah, I meant as a developer, I want to see reviews pending on me. I mean, for example, in a repository, there could be hundreds of PRs open at a time, but I only want to know the PRs pending on me. So instead
That
of
is-
going on to the GitHub and selecting that PRs on me, probably CLI can be like very handy and faster way.
Yes, this is for you. If you are the assignee, only then you will be able to get those PRs. This is not for everybody. I added the assignee as me, so you are getting these many PRs.
Okay, got it.
And what I want to do is like, I want to, in the Google reminders, I want to automate the issue refresh. And then, so the command line readability is not good. So I want to add that part. And for authentication also, you have initial authentication setup for both Google and GitHub is like not good. It takes a lot of time. So I want to reduce that. And I want to add all of these features, like primarily that dynamic data selection for issue preview.
Hey Harshna, good stuff there. I just had one question. Can you explain a little bit about the calendar thing that you mentioned? I didn't get it, like about that feature.
Calendar is like a Google API that I'm using. And what it does is first you have to set up access to your Google Calendar. And then what you do is if you say add reminder, so and then with the start date and the end date, then it will from that start date to end date, it'll add a recurring reminder for you for like listing all the current issues.
Okay, a reminder for listing all the issues.
Yeah, it's like it'll be the reminder will contain all your current issues,
Oh, okay.
like currently pending and the ones which are assigned to you.
Got it. Cool. Thank you.
All right, Husam, let's go next.
Hi everyone. Please let me know like if you can see my screen.
Hey, yes, we can hear you, but we can't see your screen.
Okay. I think the whole screen won't be visible. I'll just change it. Now?
Yes.
Okay. So hi everyone. My project name is New Story. It is this project is based on Storybook. Storybook is a UI toolkit for you, which is used for documenting your design systems. And I personally use it for creating components in isolation. And once I feel confident about it, I integrate it into my app. And the problem in the solution I created is uh, it takes a lot of upfront work for your team to set up using Storybook. So once you initiate the Storybook CLI, you have to create all your components. There may be like 50 to 100 components which needs the Storybook stories for it. So this is where I created a solution for it. So I created a CLI app which has two commands at the core. One is stories. This is for the when the team is shifting to Storybook for first time. It reads all the file directories, and we get all the component names using regular expressions, and using those regular expressions we convert them into stories, and using boilerplates of their respective like JavaScript or TypeScript thing, and we convert into stories. And the second thing is the story for a single thing. So once we have a base layer of it, we can see the sum of the stories, but we want to have variations in the stories. And to do that, we can use the second thing and pass the various options to it, so it can create the thing. Once we come into the demo, I'll show it how. So to create this, I use Node.js. and Commander for the CLI, Node block for regular expressions, and Chalk for color in the strings. And coming to the demo, I'll just quickly run the scripts since my this thing is not visible. I'm running them in my terminal at the moment, and I'm pasting them. And I use the first thing, the first command that is used to create stories for all the components in your file. And this also I also ran yarn storybook that will run your storybook in your local host. And I had two components in my files, and it created base stories for them. And now this is where the second the command comes into play. So these are the three commands, and new story is a CLI, and the story for creating a single story, and -f for specifying the path for where you want. And similarly, we are creating for alert buttons, and one more for buttons, and for specifying props for them. Here we are specifying severity is equal to error, warning, info, and success. I have made the changes in the component itself. Like once we have those props, it will change into it will transform itself. So I will just paste all the three at once and run it again. So I've run it in my terminal, and this is what happens. So once we run it, so severity like error, warning, info, and success, just as we saw in the documentation. And similarly for button, size, and variant. Like these were the three commands which we see here. One for the alert, and which was severity, error, warning, and info, success. That is what we see here. So for each of this, we can add, we can give this command and generate stories for us with the various states of the application. So that's so for coming to for what's next to this is to integrating other frameworks to it. Right now it's only for React, and it will scan through all the components and thing, and it will create a boilerplate, either JavaScript or TypeScript based on the component extension. And the second is to override the templates with their configuration. What this means is this package has a pre-written boilerplate. If you want to, if the user wants to change it, we can read it from their local machine and somewhere in like a dot folder there inside that, and read it from there. And instead of what our boilerplate is there, let them render their boilerplate. And about the next thing, to make it official part of in a storybook. Like whenever you initiate the storybook init command, it creates a it makes your app into storybook. So it would be great if we can integrate this as well. What it will happen is that it will create stories for you. What the init command of storybook does it creates sample stories which are useless for you. Like it is just for seeing it once and then throwing it away. Instead, create stories for you for your components. So that is what I built. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, really cool, Hassam. This will save us a ton of time. Our team has yet to attack stories in our particular product. So getting started, having seen the complexity of the stories that other teams have, this would be really great. Is there, I think it would be fairly easy to add an option, maybe to find missing stories as well for components, because it is easy to miss them if you've got hundreds and hundreds of components. But yes, this could save a lot of time.
Mm-hmm. Missing stories as in?
Yeah, if you had missing stories for some components, just sniff out the missing ones and flag that, perhaps as a pre-commit hook to say, you can't commit this component because you have a missing story for it. It would definitely improve code quality quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. I will definitely look at it.
All right, we have 3 more teams remaining. Let's hear from Kabilan and Akash next, who will present.
Hey, sorry, just one question. For Husam. Husam, did you think about like reading the components and then creating the stories out of it instead of passing the props manually? Because I see it as a concern, especially through a CLI tool. If it has like 3-4 props, which has like 4-5 options within them, it's like difficult to type. How about like reading the component and figuring it out?
So that was my initial plan. That was a bit hard to do because the first thing is that we need regular expressions for that, and it is kind of very difficult, but it can be done. But the second concern is that you can't do it in JavaScript files, like the variants like color. You will have primary, secondary. This won't be there in your JavaScript files. It is only there in your TypeScript files, and it is kind of difficult, even if it is TypeScript, where to find the props. And inside a component, you have props defined. Those props can be defined even as restructured way, or even if you can do it like props dot the prop name. It is kind of difficult to get the prop name, like get the prop name to do it like that. That is what I wanted to do, but I couldn't do it.
Yeah, it makes sense. Thank you.
Hi guys, am I audible and is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. Akash.
Yeah, hi. So yeah, breach of data and security is becoming a rising concern among top organizations in today's world. And for example, one character change in the URL of Apple's website was made to make it malicious in nature. And so to safeguard ourselves and our online presence, we present to you Watchdog, a Chrome extension which will keep you safe online.
Yeah. So to continue with what Akash said, so let's say you just decided to go on some website. Being there and not being there is totally up to us. But let's just say we are here for the sake of argument. We are here and we just want to click and watch something. And since I'm having an ad god, we don't see any ads, but usually it's completely totally filled with ads. We respect that they also need monetization and stuff, but there are certain kind of links that you don't want to get yourself into. Even there are most of the dangerous websites are completely in the darknet, but some do show up in the layer of the plain web as well. So to also we know that what we are trying to actually do is Apple has a reading mode. So kind of similar to Apple does have that reading mode, but what happens in the background is totally not under our control. It just kind of eats out the just filters out the remaining stuff and just let's just give renders out the thing that we just want to see. So that's perfect for reading, but we can't understand what's in the background and what's not. So we kind of wanted to analyze the web page and to know what sort of malicious links are there. We have different sort of threads from level 1 to level 6, starting from simple phishing websites to even stuff that can go till highly dangerous virus. So that's the main idea. So the extension is being was built in fast API, and right now we kind of have two API endpoints. The one which takes a web page link. So let's say I'm taking this and I'm just passing it here. It would scan through the entire website and then scrapes out all the href tags, all the href links and stuff. Right now it's limited to the href, but we'll also want to add the image part in the future so that we can scan if there is NSFW stuff, and we can blur that out as well. Right now it goes into that and then just takes away the whole just scans the thing, and then we find out whether if it's safe or unsafe. We have done it as part of the extension, and we have added it to the extension as well. GitHub is safe, and right now it does show this is an adult website, so like this, and we also intend to do this for malicious and other stuff. Kind of that's the whole idea, and at the end we want to ship it to the ship it as have I been pawned. This is one of the famous website. We can just enter our email and then find out if it's been pawned or not. So we kind of want to ship out a similar approach of they can enter the link and then they can identify whether the link has any malicious. This is just one step. This is the first step towards making the web as clean as possible. Yeah.
Hi, just one question there. I'm not sure I understand like the target user for this. Like you said, there's an API, but there's also a Chrome extension. Chrome extension, I would suppose, is for the end user, the general consumer. But how is the API supposed to be used?
Yeah, actually, yeah. The Chrome extension leverages the API to render out the stuff. The Chrome extension listens, just interacts with the backend API, and then that's how it identify whether it's safe, malicious, or adult, and stuff like that. Generally, we could argue this can be useful for everyone who wants to. Yeah, there definitely is a target base, but we can initially, at least before pivoting, we can focus on the whole end user. Just a normal day usage. We can go through stuff, lot of stuff, blocks and stuff. Yeah. We want to minimize that. We'll take care of. We'll just take 98% of the pain, and then just to give, even if it means we can give 2% better experience to the user.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
All right, Manuraj and Pratyush, let's see yours.
Good evening.
Hi, good evening. We will start with our product SuperQuest, where you can write the query and get the quick solutions. So the problem was the most developers in their development life lose their lot of time in finding answers or on bugs or on general topics or on module errors on Stack Overflow or like blogs or YouTube videos, etc., and get stuck in a hell of links and tabs. So we have targeted the audience like software developers, product managers, and students in tech. Because as a software developer, we also face this problem in daily life, like opening different tabs and searching for the solution. So we have come up with the solution as a web extension where we quickly fetch the answers for the end user on the single page or extension screen. And the tech stacks we have used is JavaScript, React.js, and Tailwind CSS for the designing. And our future plans for our projects are we can improve. We can include user authentication. We can include bookmarks, vertical tabs inside the extension. We can also improve the functions with dynamic API and last but not at the user experience, which can improve users experience better. And here is the demo. Sorry.
Just cancel it. Open.
Hello.
Present it. Yeah, present it. Yeah, just click on it. We can't hear the sound. Right?
Hello.
Can you hear the sound?
Hey, while sharing the screen, you need to check checkbox which says share sound at the bottom.
Where?
Stop sharing, start sharing again.
Yeah. Sure.
All right.
Yeah. Can I share? Can I share it? Oh.
No, it's okay. We can hear it now. Play.
Now, this is our product, SuperQuest, both available as a web app and an extension. SuperQuest will help you to search the problems and get the quick and optimal solutions on the extension. For example, this is as a developer, I just run the script and then I go to the browser. What I see this is whole blank. Why? Then I check the inspect and I see there's a console error. The request module depth React router does not include export name. Now I just open my SuperQuest and say switch is not exported from get router DOM. And see, once a second, perfect. So see, I get result at a time. What is showing that rather than using switch, I can use routes. So let's do this. Okay, I just change this with routes, and I again run it. The problem is solved. It's rendering.
Yeah, so we are done with the demo.
Thanks, Pratyush, for the demo. I have one question. Like, how did you manage the source of your data? Like, did you crawl the Stack Overflow and like collected the information and turned into database, or are you using Stack Overflow APIs? Like personally, if you could just restrict this only to searching on Stack Overflow, like even then it solves a like great amount of problem. Just to maybe don't show the answers, so just maybe show the questions related, and then people can search on the link and get the selected answer. That's it. I mean, that can also save a lot of noise. But yeah, I just want to. I'm curious to know like, how did you like compile the data into
Like
your searching?
first time we tried to use Stack Exchange API, but we are front developer. We did it, but it was not working properly. So we did a turnaround. We built our own, hard-coded our own custom API, and we take 50 famous errors which is available on Stack Overflow, and we put it. That's how we search it. And as you can see, you get the quick answer. Basically, we fetched the most voted answer. Like I know 50% time it doesn't work. 50 time I'm focusing on the 50% where you need quick solutions. Not every time I want to scroll the whole website or tab a lot of links, or I want quick solution. That's why I use this.
Yeah, I think that's good. But if you can leverage the actual APIs, then probably you can like solve a major part of the problem, because it's not like really like everyone gets into the top 50 problems always. But yeah,
Yeah,
anyways.
we will definitely do it. That's our next task. We'll definitely do it.
Yeah, great stuff. Thank you.
All right, let's see the final demo of the night. Shivansh, go for it. Hey, Shivansh, you're on mute.
Oh shit, sorry. Okay, I'll go again. So my name is Shivansh. My teammate's name is Tony, and we are here to present Gita. So I'll just quickly get to that extension, and then we'll let you know, like we'll introduce ourselves and do stuff, right? So this, what the problem this solves is, suppose I have, okay, just a sec. Yeah, suppose I have uncommitted changes in my repository, and now I want to push these changes. Now, as a beginner, I'll have to type 3 commands in my terminal. That's git add, git commit, and with a message, and then git push, right? And as a senior developer, I know these things, but I hesitate to do this because this takes a slight amount of time, right? So what we did was we did develop Gita, and with help of Gita, what you can do is click a button. This would ask for a commit message. Maybe just write changes done, because this is just a demo. I save it. I close this, and these changes would be pushed, right? It's taking some time, and it would just come up here. So the changes are pushed. The same thing I can do with revert commit. I can just click on it, and it would revert the commit that I've done. I can click on merge, and then I can merge to any branch, and that's also possible. So yeah, coming to next, what we would do, we would like to have authentication here, so that if you are not authenticated to Git, you can authenticate to Git and directly just click on push. It would authenticate to Git. It would ask some inputs and it would do that. Show error messages, because if any of these command fails, you don't get error message. You would get something like this if command fails. And yeah, add more commands to it so that any beginner or any senior developer can just do a git command using a click. Yeah, that's from my side. My name is Shivan Shukla and my teammate's name is Tony. This is the first hackathon. Surprisingly, we are the finalists. And this is the first time we have built a VS Code extension too. So yeah, thanks.
Hi, Shivansh.
Hi, sir.
Congratulations for your first hackathon.
Thank you.
Yeah, I really like the idea of basically not interacting with the GitHub or Git commands and providing a UI. My only question to you is, I mean, it also requires a slightly learning curve when like you have to explain like how to merge commits, or when there are like merge conflicts, especially, right?
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So have you also solved that with your UI right now, or is it a plan for later?
For beginners, merge conflicts is like, so if there's someone who's just starting into web development, he doesn't care about merge conflicts, right? So first thing is that have thought. So he might not need merge conflicts. Yeah, coming to the senior developers part, yes. So there we would need to do something for merge conflicts. I think VS Code already has a great UI for merge conflict. So I thought that might not be needed, because if VS Code's doing it, then why do it? VS Code has already solved the problem for merge conflict.
Okay, so actually I was going from a point of view that when user presses merge in your tool, then there would be an error shown by your tool, right? And then if you're solving for beginners, then we have to bridge the gap that user has to go into that VS Code flow now to merge the code. So that experience has to be taken care of. But yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
And
Sure,
I would
yeah,
encourage
we'll
you to look
work
at
on
another product. It's called fork.dev. I think that's a
Okay.
great interface for beginners and advanced developers. Thank you.
Sure.
All right, with that, we've come to the end of the demos. I will quickly create a breakout room for the judges to tally up their scores. Saiti, you can join. You can also join along with Kushagra, Ben, and Wilson, Ben and Sachin. Let me just open the room. Meanwhile, we'll just have a reflection with the other participants. All right. See you, folks. You'll see a breakout room option. Let me know if you see it. All right, Kushagar is gone, Ben is gone, Sachin is gone, Sahit is gone. All right, cool, folks. So the hackathon is done. All right, let me see some faces and let's do a quick reflection. How did it go? Let's just casually chat about how was it? How was the experience? Who wants to go first?
First of all, it feels really good. Like I never build my own software which is useful in 2 days. Like 2 days, I there's a sleepless nights and seeing the results. It feels awesome, and I thank you so much. Like you give us this opportunity, and we showed our potential. If we never take a part of it, we never know. Like so, thank you for this.
Yeah, I think hackathons are a great way to get into deep work zone. I see one comment in the chat which is like sleep cycle messed up. Yeah, I think honest answers, which is pretty cool. All right, Pratyush, how was it for you?
Hi, Via. Actually, it was like a lot of learning was there with, and my partner was Manuraj. So like we worked a lot. First of all, like we were trying to have a built-in API of Google Search API, but that was not working. So like we were like, what to do next? So so we created our own custom APIs and like we did something, and that everything was okay. So like, yeah, there was a lot of learning, and like it was a great fun to participate in hackathon. And thank you so much for giving this opportunity.
All right, Athar.
Hi, good evening, everyone. So yeah, so when I read your message that Rocket is hosting a hackathon, I never thought that I'll be able to create something in matter of 2 days and ship it to production. But yeah, I've done it, and I really enjoyed the experience. This was a nice change of pace, right? My sleep cycle is not that messed up, but yeah, I pulled off some off nighters, and yeah, I learned so much in the past couple of days, right? So yeah, I just wanted to thank you, Rocket, and also Requestly for organizing this. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I was on mute. Quick question. Did you rename your repository? Like, was it called autocode VS extension before? And did you rename it?
Yeah. Actually, I inadvertently created a new repo instead of creating an existing repo. So right now it's GitHub/username/autocode.
Got it. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. I just got a ping from Sachin. That's why. Cool. Haridarshan, how's it?
Like the experience was great. I had just put up the idea, and I didn't know how to go through it. So the idea felt cool. So I was like, okay, it's cool. So let's build it. But then how do I actually build it? I don't really know it. So then the exploration starts and everything, like reading up Stack Overflow problems and around it that you can't store a selection and everything around that. It was a great experience. I learned a lot of new things. So yeah.
All right, let's hear some things that went wrong. I think that number should be more than the ones I've already shared. Like how, like on a scale of, let's say, if you planned for 100, how much did you actually end up building? Let's see the numbers in the chat. Don't press enter yet. Just type, if you had planned for 100, how much of it did you actually end up implementing and demoing? Just type it in the chat. Chalo, let's see those numbers in 3, 2, 1, go. We have 40, 10, 70, 50, 60. 60. Yeah, anything above 50 is like pretty cool. Because 110, crazy. Build 70, 60, cool. So like I say, the closer your estimates are to your actuals, life gets easier. So yeah, hackathons are a good way to test for that. All right. Any crazy stories of like this was working, stopped working when you woke up, or you came back after 1 hour, and yeah, any sad stories you want to share in the room? It could be anything memorable. Let me rephrase it. Anything memorable, anything unexpected happened, which surprised you, confused you. It could be good, it could be bad. All right. Arka says my teammate vanished. Arka, want to hear more from you? What happened?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, can you like elaborate a bit on like teammate vanished? Were you able to get in touch later? Yeah.
All he contacted me with was his Telegram account, and then when I contacted him today, no answers. Full blank, like I'm ghosted. His call is not picking up, just ghosted.
You were hosted in the hackathon. That's crazy.
Yes, sir.
Crazy. All right. I see Loom crashed. Yeah. I think I saw your messages in the Telegram group. I was scared when I saw blank screen of the Firefox for the Loom video, and it was 12:55. Yeah, I think we don't like plan buffers. I think again, good thing to keep in mind is to always add a buffer whenever you're planning any tasks. It really helps things. Of course, we work on deadlines. That's a different thing. But adding buffers is always like whenever you plan things for next time, make sure you add a buffer. Not working the Google Search API, panic happened. Yeah, didn't wake up on time to record the demo video. All right. Harshna, you had raised a hand.
Yeah, so I made a lot of mess ups today. Like yesterday was okay, yeah. But today morning, like I was half asleep and yeah, never doing that again. So like I pushed my GitHub token and and then GitHub has that feature that it safeguards you that if you push your to authorization token, then what happens is it expires the token and then you have to regenerate it. And I was searching through the whole code base what happened. It was working fine and suddenly how the app broke. That's that. But lot of but it was really fun experience. Like I've never learned 3 to 4 technologies in one day. I mean 1.5 days. So I started late on Saturday, like the research part. But I learned 4 technologies and I learned them so quickly. I never thought I could do it. That was a really good part.
Yeah, I've almost always used hackathons to learn new things, because otherwise, if you start going through the tutorial, it takes you a lot of time. But when you have something in mind that, hey, build this using this, you're very like laser focused on this is what you need to get out of this new tool framework. And yeah, I think the productivity there is crazy. Yeah.
Thank you so much for
What else, folks? What would you do differently next time, whenever, wherever you participate in the next hackathon? Any reflections on what did not go well for you this time personally? What will you do differently?
Watch tutorials completely. Because I think so we had this side panel, right? There are few buttons in the VS Code side panel. And me and my teammate were like for the whole day just searching on how to do that stuff. Because we were not reading the documentation. That's other sad story, but we were also not watching the tutorial. So we were just trying to figure it out by ourselves, Stack Overflow and stuff. But yeah, the time, and it was like what, yesterday night we figured out that okay, that's how you add it. So yeah, then we started doing the on click stuff. And yeah,
Okay, who all like had a night out either yesterday night or day before yesterday? Can you like raise your hands? Okay. Okay, we have bunch. Oh, all right, all right, all right, all right. Bunch of folks. All right. So yeah, how do you deal with it? Like, were you a zombie in the afternoon today? How was it? Okay, sleep deprived right now. Yeah, yeah, definitely. What are your plans? Coffee. Okay, coffee for the win. What brand do you drink?
I don't know whichever my mom brings. I think it's brew.
All right, all right. Coffee has like extreme effect on me. Either I'll get into hyperactive mode, or I'll just sleep right after drinking it.
can I share a funny fact?
Yeah, go for it.
People say that like coffee puts like makes them active, but then like in my family, like everybody drinks coffee before bed to get a better sleep. It's like coffee relaxes them more.
Personally, like, yeah, it works for me. Like, if I have a cold coffee before going to bed, I have an amazing sleep that night. And there was a phase wherein I was doing it a lot, but yeah. Yeah, I think it has different effects on different people also. um yeah, it's like very, very individual thing, I feel. Varun says being sleep deprived is a lifestyle. I would want to say no. This is not. You should not be sleep deprived. Your cycles may vary. The cycles, whether you want to be a night owl or early morning person, that's up to you. But yeah, just adding a disclaimer here that if you are sort of on, if you are seeing yourself on that sort of a lifestyle, just pick up this book. It's called Why We Sleep, and it will scar you for life. You'll never sleep less. You will then sort of realize that your body needs 7 to 8 hours of sleep every day, and yeah, the depriving it is not worth it. So yeah, either you can like just take my word for it because I've read that book and start sleeping for 7 to 8 hours. If you feel nahi हमको खुद पढ़ना है तो खुद पढ़ो, and then yeah, welcome to the non-deprived world of sleep. Here I am, coffee today, can't sleep, no kidding. Coffee can't stop me from sleeping whenever I'm trying not to sleep by drinking coffee. Oh yeah, I think yeah. It's like whatever you're feeling, it will just enhance. So if you're like sleepy thoda, it will make you more sleepy. If you have something on your mind, you drink coffee. I think it's I think most things are about mindset. A lot of things are like, I feel it's, you can replace them with a placebo. It is your mind playing tricks on you. Yeah, right now I'm just sort of passing time, waiting in excitement for for the judges to come back. I thought they would have come back by now, but yeah. Oversleeping weakens your memory. Okay, I don't know about that. I yeah, I don't know actually. I would have to check. I'm not sure. Harshna, like, how sure are you?
100%. I was a bio student before I came into computers. So I was really fascinated with the human mind and body. So I read a lot about
Okay, interesting.
that. Like you get like Alzheimer's and all of that also faster. So you should not sleep, people, to all the lazy people out there, and you should not be lazy because that also affects your mind.
Got it. Share a crazy story from hackathons. I think most fun happens when you work in a team. I see that majority of you went solo on this one, which is something like I wouldn't recommend you next time, because a team is more fun, and most memorable things happens with teams, like the other person ghosts you or like just vanishes. They'll come back early next day and say ki, हाँ कितना हो गया है, I'll make the demo, things like that. It will give you the group project feels which you had in college, back in college. So yeah, I think this kind of things have happened wherein we are a team of 4 people working on some idea, and as soon as you form the team, you sort of implicitly know that who is going to work in this team and who is going to just chill. So yeah, I think those are some things which are always memorable, because why you remember things which surprise or confuse you, which don't go according to plan. So if everything goes right, then maybe you'll not remember much. I made a new coding partner. It was great fun. Awesome. It happened with me. Alish, what happened with you? Alish, are you there? Acha, team members ghosted. Oh. Yeah. That is like at what time did they ghost? Like, did they ghost you at the start itself, or did they ghost you while you were in the middle of some crazy bug? Yeah, at the start there's school only, matlab, that you're going to, you have time to recover. Like, the worst thing is like you sort of get to it, like someone ditches you in between in during the hackathon. All right, we have Sachin back from the breakout room. Our other judges also back. Sachin, what's going on? Do we have the winners ready? I see you are out, but others are not out. What's up?
Yeah, I think like it was a pretty decent session. We also got to learn a lot of new things. There was a lot of energy. There was like getting an idea and building that idea and showing a demo in the next, like within a span of 36 hours is like pretty amazing in itself. Like even if you are not in the top 3, like you should give a like huge pat on your back. It's amazing things to participate. It is like coming out of your comfort zone, spending a weekend on something that you always wanted to build, and now you've got an opportunity and you like did something really well. So first of all, I want to congratulate everyone that you actually participated and like made it till the end. So that's what we discussed, that we really liked all the demos. Everyone was like participated with all their effort, and then we kind of discussed the scoring and eventually came up with the first, second, and third positions. So we are just waiting for Saiti to come back, and then we'll start the announcements.
All right, there's a lot of build up here. Erin was like just waiting for all of you to come out, and now you're out and still we are waiting. So it's like anxiety level max.
Yeah, it's just that Saiti is just getting their profile fixed on Twitter.
All right. Meanwhile, yes.
Can I ask, did anybody have anything embarrassing happen in the background and wonder if the call noticed? Go and share your story. Well, there's nothing on my end anyway. Well, I hope not anyway.
My kid is constantly knocking on the door. That's why I have to like go on and say that I need 10 more minutes.
So there were folks who were sharing stories. Can you quickly share them now again?
My parents are constantly telling me to have dinner.
All right. Any code that stopped working midway, or I think we sort of someone said they woke up late, and that's why they didn't get time to make a good demo. That was different. What else? Who else had memorable experiences? Who wants to go?
Who didn't sleep at all? Well, is there someone who didn't sleep at all during the whole
Me.
course?
Raise your hands.
Oh, damn. Nice.
I'm hiding my brackets there from my glasses, but I'm very sleepy right now.
I can see your dark circles. Yeah.
Manuraj, those dark circles are worth it. I'm sure you must have learned a lot of things.
One person, some Google search API stopped working. Who was that?
Yeah, it was us. Like for one day, we just building the product. Like what we are trying to do, like we want to fetching APIs from different places, from Stack Exchange, YouTube, and other APIs. What we're trying is to connect it with Hasura and GraphQL, but in the end, it didn't work, and we only left with 6 hours. So we just turn around, basically, let's build a custom hard-coded API and just show the result what we expected. And that's how we did it.
Yeah, I have only one, like I would say, request to all the participants to not leave your product at this stage. I think you have already like found one problem to solve, which you face, I believe, in your like day-to-day work types. So let's like keep building this stuff and keep using this stuff in your work or in your like daily life. And then I'm pretty sure like it will become one like big one day. Like maybe now there are platforms like Product Hunt, Hacker News, like tell others about your product, whatever it is. And don't feel like shy about launching your product, even if it is not in the perfect shape. This is one of the mistakes like most startups do. They wait too long before like taking their foot out of the door, right? Whenever something is working, like functionally it is working, just bring this out to the people and like get some constructive feedback and like iterate on top of it.
Yeah, I definitely echo that. I've seen that mistake made so many times. The challenge is to know what the minimum product is, like the minimum that's useful. That's actually very, very hard. But yeah, don't wait for sure, because the feedback you get from your users is so valuable.
Yeah, but it's not that hard when you know that you are using the product. If you know you are using the product at least once a week or like twice a week, then you know it's like ready to be used by someone else as well. It's hard when you are actually building for someone else.
Shivansh mentioned you want to open source it. Definitely go for it, Shivansh. Making something open source will teach you a lot of cool things, especially when someone volunteers to contribute in a project. I think that's where things start getting real. And yeah, I think either when you contribute to someone else's project or someone else for the first time contributes in your project, I think those moments are pretty special. Yeah, that's like pure bliss, happiness.
Hey, Session, what was the kind of the seed for Requestly as a product? How did that be born?
Yeah. So like one of the secret sauces is that I always build this product for myself.
Yeah.
And I like kept building this for myself as I faced problems in debugging JavaScripts online on remote production environments, and when I like needed to modify different parts of network requests, right? And it is very analogous to a story of like how Gmail evolved, right? So Google has this a notion of 20% project. So one engineer created like a very simple Gmail app, an email app, but then it was not given approval to be built as an official part of the company, right? But then the person decided, I don't exactly remember the name. That person decided that if I get to find 100 people that love my product, then I think we will make it big, right? So similar thing kind of happened with Requestly. I was part of Adobe back then. I built the product for myself. I started debugging campaigns, and then when similar folks, especially in my teammates, face the similar problems, I like gave the product to them. Like I'd never kind of started that I want to like make this product for 100,000 users someday, right? And then my team started using it, QA folks started using it, product managers started using it, and then other teams also started using it, customer support started using it. And then I just left the product as open source and launched it on Chrome Store and just left as it is. I kept building the product, shipped the updates, and I just keep getting the feedback from other users. And that's how the cycle of iteration evolved. Started from me, then teammates, and then other users. Kush, there is a question for you.
Oh, in the chat. Or the inception of CSS button. Was it to settle a beef with CSS developer or something? No, not actually. I always wanted to have a game where you could use CSS to compete with. That was the only idea. And like this is the thing that we all do as a front-end developer. We get designs from the design team, and then we write code HTML, CSS to implement the UI. So that's what I just took, created as a game, and then added some like topping of code golfing and stuff just to make it interesting. And that's how it came up.
The story has a similar story about, and I think it's in the theme of sort of scratching an itch. I remember when I was involved with pre-iPhone phones, they used to provide something called an XML WAP profile with their HTTP headers. We created a database of all the different screen sizes back in the day, all the different ringtones they could support, and you could get a lot of information about the device just by sniffing these headers. So it created a system to create that, but that was just to scratch an itch because I was the idiot that had to update this database. So it was only a beginning developer. But the approach got so sophisticated that it ended up being useful for ensuring compliance with clinical screen sizes that were required. Like they would often state like a minimum screen size must be this screen size, this number of pixel densities to be valid for these clinical questionnaires. And that ended up bizarrely being patentable, right? So some of these ideas that you just do to scratch an itch can have tremendous value beyond what you initially solved. But the genesis of it was really annoying me to have to do this all the time. So I wanted to help myself, and then you expand from there.
Yeah, that's great, Ben.
Moral of the story: scratch your own itches.
Yeah.
Right, cool. Sachin, we are ready. Saiti is ready. Sachin, over to you to announce the winners of this hackathon.
Yeah. So Swapnil, like we decided in order. So Kushagra will start, then Ben, and then I'll do that.
Right. All right. Hype, drum roll.
Yeah. We'll share the screen. We'll share my screen. Cool. It came out of the presenters thing. 1 second.
So much pressure, Saidi.
Sorry.
So much pressure.
Yep. We are here, guys. So yeah, I think. Oh, yeah. Come on, Kushagra.
Cool. All right. So we are starting in the reverse order. We'll announce the third winner first. And just to like re-emphasize again what Sachin said and everyone said, like, don't worry about the results too much. Everyone did a great job. All the ideas that we had were super amazing. It's mostly about like how will you execute and all those things, your speed and all that gets counted in the hackathon. But yeah, you should all pursue it further. So yeah, we have a third winner. And the winner is form filler by Anish and Varun.
Yay.
Well done, folks.
Okay. Next.
I'm just, I forgot who, I'm supposed to do this one, and I forgot who was, okay, yeah, okay, I know who it is now, okay, I'm sorry. Okay, in second place, we have Project Review. Well done, guys, that was awesome.
Sorry, Ben, I couldn't hear you.
Oh. Project Review.
Okay, yeah, project review, and yeah, it is Hadarshan Chowdhury. Yeah, great.
Great job.
Yeah, and honestly, there was very tough competition between the second and first position. There's very slight margin, but yeah, we are very happy to have our first winner as the auto code by Athar Shakil.
Yay. Okay. Congratulations, guys, from all of our end. I'm going to stop my sharing the screen now. Yep.
Congratulations to everyone.
Congratulations to everyone.
Congrats, everyone.
Yeah, well done.
Well done.
Awesome. Congratulations all around to especially the winners, but also the participants. Like Sachin mentioned, attempting anything in 36 hours is definitely a big thing, and sticking to it, because I'm pretty sure, like we were discussing when the judges were evaluating, we were discussing there are a bunch of uncertain, unknown things that happen, especially when we're working on a deadline, and to keep going on despite those obstacles, um, that is something that takes mental strength, and that is what we need to develop as well going forward in our careers. So yeah, I think thank you everyone for participating in this hackathon over a weekend. Thank you, Sachin, for igniting this, for sponsoring this, and for having our first Moonshot hackathon. Thank you, Kushagra and Ben, for your valuable insights. Like, I've watched both your videos twice. I was there in the call and then I watched it again as well. So I think I really like, so it always gives me like more perspective to hear from people who have worked longer, because you sort of get an opportunity to short circuit your journey, and you sort of get to see what senior people value at their phase in life. So yeah, that's always like super interesting to me. And thanks, Sahiti, for managing everything behind the scenes. I think there's a lot of things that like go in the planning and the execution of like all steps. Um, right from the landing page to the schedule, to making sure that links don't get into, like, don't get spam, we don't invite people like bots and anything. So yeah, I think uh, thank you for uh, executing this like in a super awesome way. All
Yeah,
right.
been a great learning. And it's amazing to meet you all guys, Kushagra and Ben Wilson, like personally. Yeah, it's totally my pleasure. And yeah, thank you so Sachin so much to know you like taking the initiative of this. You brought it up and yeah, we took it. So yeah, thank you so much for that.
All right, we're going to stop recording now. We're going to play some songs. If you want to hang around, that's totally up to you. You can turn off your video. You can just hang around in this session. We'll play some cool songs. That's about it, folks. Hope to see you in the next hackathon whenever we organize it. And yeah, have a well-deserved break. Sleep now. I'm pretty sure most of you are sleep deprived. All right, with that, we'll end this. Have a good night, folks. See you next time.